Hello everybody, Flash Notion here, and we're going to be watching the 4th episode of My Little Pony Season 9. Not the 200th episode. I keep thinking it's going to be the 200th episode, because everybody keeps talking about, oh, it's the 200th episode coming up. And I'm just like, it's not this episode. It's not this episode, because of Season 3, the numbering's all messed up. Even numbered episodes are actually odd numbers in the total. But no, we're here for the 199th episode, which is weird. Almost feels like a milestone in itself, though, because it's like right before the 100th episode, you know? Or 200th episode, I mean. Whatever. Sorry about that. I had to clear the throat a little bit. But this episode is called Twilight 7. And I don't know anything about it. I haven't seen anything. I haven't heard anything. I'm getting to this, pretty early, but like also spoiler free. So it's like, yeah, what the heck is this one about? Like the last one was pretty obvious. Going off from the premiere, we had the tree uprooted. It has to do with the tree. This one, I have no idea. Are we going for like a Magnificent Seven parody or something like that? I don't know. I mean, it could be referring to Twilight's 7 closest friends, which would be the other members of the main 6, plus Spike and Starlight. Which is kind of weird to think about, considering that Starlight was at one point her worst enemy. But no, like that's the only thing I can really think about. Because all the other groups are 6. So, yeah, I mean, maybe 7 artifacts or something? I don't know. Like, it's a weird title, isn't it? But, no, I think the Friends thing is probably the most likely. What that actually means in terms of a plot, though, I have no idea. Because, like, hang on a second, gotta adjust the microphone. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it could be referring to. So, let's find out. Let's watch the damn episode. Starting in 3, 2, 1, play. Well, there's Spike and Starlight, so we're off to a good start.
Twilight, look at the scroll I just got.
Do you know what this means? I don't. What's
Yeah, it looks like a new
crown?
crown.
This is no toy crown. It's the hard-won helm of the Sibling Supreme.
The what?
When Shining Armor and I were small, we competed over everything.
Okay. Well, there's a contradiction to, well, no, that's not a contradiction. Ladybugs was the thing. Nice. Yeah, no.
To keep it friendly, our parents gave us gold stars every time we did something special.
Cool.
Sharing.
Also, the baby Spike is adorable.
Getting good grades.
Oh, poor Shining.
Really funny joke. And at the end of each week, we'd add up the stars.
This is adorable.
The sibling with the most would win the crown of the Sibling Supreme. And bragging rights. Till next time.
Aw.
Guess that explains your love of charts. And so much else.
Yeah.
We'll be Sibling Supreme one day. Meet me at Celestia's castle to decide who deserves the crown once and for all. Race you there!
Oh, dear. Twilight, come on.
Watch the school?
Starlight, I think you should be used to that by now. So, a couple months then have passed, probably, I guess, since, last episode, because, like, the school wasn't open back then. So, we're going to Candlelot. We're going to have a Shining Armor and Twilight episode? Or is that just an excuse to get Twilight out of the plot while Starlight and the rest of the main 6 watch over the school? But then who's the 7th one? Because Spike's going with her. So maybe it's referring to something else, like 7 stars needed to win the crown? Huh.
You're wearing it?
Look, I know you've always held a grudge because I left home with this.
Grudge? What grudge? Just because
Right.
you were way longer than you should have, and I never got a chance to win it back.
Twilight,
Return of Song.
you're adults now.
Princess Luna and I felt it was time to reinforce the castle's defenses. I said we could do it ourselves, but some ponies are a bit stubborn.
Oh my god. Oh, we're getting the Celestia and Luna a bit.
Hard to handle the job.
I've taken the security here to a whole new level.
Oh my
Everything I
god.
need now is
This is
somebody to test.
this is amazing.
You want me to break into Celestia's castle?
If you can get past my defenses,
Oh.
stick around,
My god.
you'll be sibling supreme forever.
And then Spike's gonna get it in the end. Oh my god, it's a pudding face.
If you fail, I keep the crown.
Deal. Wait, are you sure this counts? Mom and Dad aren't giving us any stars.
I will represent their authority. Twilight, your help will reveal if there are any holes in our security.
Oh my god.
Multi-
Salty princesses.
triple backed up line of
I mean, this is gonna be her castle in the
castle
future.
surrounded by
Oh,
shards of Queen Chrysalis's throne. Thanks to Star Swirl,
Damn!
anti-magic powers are now tuned to stop any creature from using a spell to get inside. You can't
Well,
fly
damn.
in either. Giant fans keep any creature from flying too
okay, that's a little ridiculous, but
Plus, the entrances to the tunnels below the castle have been sealed, so there's no
Oh.
underground access.
okay.
And even if you could get in, which you can't, I've doubled the ranks of security.
Wow.
Police protect every hallway and door, which can only be opened with Royal Guard medals.
Right, so we're going for like a spy movie type. Oh my god, we're going for an Ocean's 11 type thing, aren't we? A heist movie.
Trap to activate at the slightest touch.
Wow.
But say you avoid the floor, still no luck, because I've employed nature's alarm system.
What the fuck are those things?
Geese, you can hear their honks all the way
Wow.
in Ponyville.
Gonks in, gonks. Geese in, Equestria are a lot more, appropriate looking than,
So that's what we're up against.
Whew, that's a barrel and a half of obstacles. Plus
Wow.
a bushel and a peck of impenetrability.
And
Has she-
all of this is to win some fillyhood competition with your brother?
well,
It's more than that. Okay, it's exactly that. And to protect Celestia's castle.
wow, that's a good diaphragm. I mean,
I was already in. Come on, who doesn't want to hang with geese?
Of course we'll help.
nobody wants to hang with geese, Pinkie Pie. Those things are monsters.
But I'll never guess Twilight's plan.
We play to our strengths and defeat all of the security measures. That way, if one of us fails, the others will still have a shot at getting the crown. Pinky, you'll distract the guards with a surprise party.
Yes, sir, Twilight, sir.
I mean, if all it takes is a surprise party, they are horrible guards.
Tunnels. Rainbow Dash?
Wow.
If any pony can outfly those wind turbines, it's you. Rarity, you'll sew us guard costumes so we can sneak past security. Then
I don't think they're
disable the
sewed.
tunnel
They're
by
more like
trapping geese.
forged, but cool.
It's from Shining Armor. Dear Twilight, hope your idea isn't just prison rooms, tunnels. He guessed your whole plan.
Yeah, he's smart.
Party Rarity
He's not stupid. He's just not good at school.
Supreme? Oh, come on!
Twilight, darling. No pony knows you better than your own brother.
So you're saying I should give up?
I'm
Aw.
saying that your brother will win. No matter how brilliant your plan is, no matter how many variations you try, it will be something your brother expects, and he'll always win. Unless
Oh, that's a face. That might be a thumbnail.
you do something he can't expect. Then you'll win.
You've been practicing that speech, haven't you?
A little bit. It felt like I rushed. Did I rush it?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
Eh,
Ooh. Yeah, it was fast-ish. We
come on.
opposite of what Shining Armor expects. Therefore, Twilight cannot mastermind the plan. But I can.
Oh, Jesus.
That's definitely unexpected.
I mean, it's not really. Also,
How is you making a break-in plan the opposite of Twilight doing it?
Because my plan is for each of us to devise our own unexpected part of it. Allow me to demonstrate.
okay. Oh, Noir. Rarity. Nice. Oh my god.
Information.
This is fantastic. Ready Dash is gonna love it.
Questions and you're gonna
Oh, that scar.
Jackie.
Juice jockey.
Under Canterlot Castle.
Shining armor sealed them all. There's no secret entrance.
There's always a secret entrance. So make like a glass of OJ and spill. I know what to do.
Tiny Pinkie Pie.
You're gonna need a lookout so I can be your eye in the sky. Too little silly, up here.
How? Pinkie, no. You cannot go into outer space, even though that...
Oh, Pinky, that tickles.
That's horrifying. Also, you interrupted Rarity's awesome noir
More
scheme.
down to earth. Like, I distract the guard boys with a farewell performance by my alter ego, famous country western superstar, Apple Cord.
I know
What?
you had an alter ego, and why would she be giving a farewell performance?
Well, it's a long story.
Really, Applejack?
Back on the farm, playing music was about making her family
Aw, baby Apple Bloom! That's amazing.
Word of her talent spread, and soon Apple Cord was playing real shows. The more she played, the bigger those shows got.
Right, so we're going Hannah Montana here, basically? Oh.
She missed playing for her family. So one day, she gave it all
I mean, I'm
up.
pretty sure you could, give your family their own,
Seeing her family smile was all she ever wanted from her music. Of course, Apple Cord could come out of retirement for a farewell concert this one time.
Yeah, somehow, Applejack, I don't think you were actually a country western superstar.
Did that actually happen? Doesn't matter.
Whoa! Honest Applejack, huh? Liar, liar.
Spaces. I always wanted to be a super spy. Is that the opposite of anything?
Oh my god.
Special Agent Fluttershy.
Yes.
Target detected below.
I'm pretty sure there's not a laser grid in there.
Almost too
Even-
easy.
Jesus! I'm pretty sure it also wouldn't work that way either. Also, I'm pretty sure that would set off all the alarms. Remember the geese? Wow. Wow. Everybody's
The
getting
only one
great.
left that still needs a plan.
Oh no, darling. That is the plan. You shall do nothing.
Shining armor definitely won't expect that.
Yeah? That's a... I'm guessing this is gonna fail horribly, though. Like, it's gonna be hilariously bad. Like, possibly cringy. Cringy. Yep.
Applejack? What are you doing?
Applejack? Who's that? My name's Apple Cord, and I've got a couple of songs to play for you. Clap your hooves if you know 'em. And a one and a two and a... My love is like a barrel full of hay.
Oh my god. This is ridiculous.
The Wonderbolts did a flyby, and the only way past
Nice. Nice use of the Wonderbolts. That's great.
is here. But there's no room for mistakes. Just like space travel. Pinky,
We're not-
actually going into space, right?
Nope.
Oh, silly! I'm dropping you two off as soon as we're close to the fans. Then I'm going into space.
Good. Sure. Fine. We'll see you later.
You're up to something, Twilight.
Eh.
Just looking at the flowers.
Right.
Come on. Bring in Celestia and Luna again.
Maybe Rarity's plan will work.
I know that one's a crowd favorite. What say we play it one more time? And a one and a two and a...
Twilight, how are you flying?
Distraction's a distraction.
Excuse me? Gadget thing?
Where's
What?
Spike and Fluttershy? Did they make it into the castle?
They jumped out right before the balloon went.
Nice touch on Pinky's spit filling up the helmet.
Where I didn't get to go.
Aw.
Hope Rarity and Rainbow Dash had better luck.
They probably got kicked out of the juice bar. Also,
Close?
nope, that's
The CD juice joint is always closed around this time.
Then how are we meant to shake down
CD juice joint.
information?
What sort of information do you need?
The location to a secret entrance to the passages under Canterlot Castle?
Wow.
That one?
Yeah,
Yes, thank you.
they're all
We'll do
bricked
this.
up. Wow. Oh, hi, Luna. Is that
Pepper Breeze?
what?
Oh, darling. This couldn't be more perfect.
What? No.
Annoying pony in Equestria.
Also, how?
Me, and we have to come up with a way to distract. Oh no! Oh
Nope. Nope. Even though it's hilarious. No, just ditch the eyeshadow right there.
What? Rainbow! I knew you'd come running when you heard I got this job. The mayor's love a pony in uniform. Am I right?
Not really.
totally. Why don't
How did he get this job?
I can see how
Like, I know he's supposed to have
you look in it?
gotten a little bit better, but there's. Wow, Rarity.
I told the Sarge that gold kind of clashes with my aura, but apparently they aren't big on input. Still, I
Yeah.
totally managed
Yeah,
to
no.
get a look.
How did you manage to pass guard training? Also, your uniform is.
I'm part of the castle team now, so I'm basically. Whoa, we got a swooner. It's good you're finally being honest with your feelings for me, Rainbows.
Yeah, no. I almost did that myself. Like,
Guarding is my call.
Ugh.
Look at me go. I'm gonna walk over here and I go, woo, over there, and I go, yeah. And sometimes I just.
also, like, why does he not have armor that actually fits him if he's an official part of this guard team? Like, that's. Wow. Okay, Spike, that is. Wow.
We'll have to glide to the throne. No flapping.
The throne is right under you. I mean. Wow.
Another false alarm from Shining Armor's guard piece.
That's fantastic.
We should have heard by now. Something must have gone wrong.
Probably several somethings.
Yeah.
No lookout, no distraction, and no word from the ponies inside. I'm starting to think this whole
Uh,
operation
yeah,
might be
the-
a giant flop.
Both ends were bricked off. So, like. Oh, poor Flutters.
Gee, Fluttershy, I thought your whole small spaces thing was just part of the plan to be unexpected.
Once I got trapped in the castle of the two sisters, and Angel Bunny and I were separated. Now whenever I'm in a time
Nice callback.
think about, I was so worried he felt alone and forgotten.
I know what that's like.
What do you mean?
I was always excited to be a part of Twilight's and Shining Armor's work.
Aww.
Like I was their little brother. But they never really thought of me that way.
I know
Oh.
they both have a special place in their heart for you. But sibling dynamics are hard, trust me.
Right? Except for Breeze.
Funny you should mention it.
Honestly, he can learn a lot from you about being a little brother.
Funny you should mention him.
I'm sick of being lost in these slimy corridors too. But you shouldn't pull every lever you come across. Half of them are traps.
And the other half might open a secret passage to the
Yeah.
castle.
It's
Uh.
worth the risk. Oh, hello, Spike.
I like that she knows Spike first. That's great.
Oh, what are you guys doing down here?
We, kind of fell through the floor.
I don't think our plan is working.
We both hit dead ends. Perhaps we should return to the outside and reevaluate.
Wait. Ugh, it's right. So 3 on the outside, 4 on the inside. Nothing going to. Wow.
What are you
What?
doing out here?
In retrospect, our plan might have been too unexpected.
Yeah.
Every part of it failed? Oh, now I'll never get the crown.
Maybe we should go back to doing things the Twilight way.
You mean the totally expected way?
It may not be a surprise, but you have a pretty good record for planning things.
It's true.
Then I guess it's worth a try. Thanks.
But you're assuming that he told you about every
Okay.
measure.
What to do.
Yeah, I mean... Wow. They are terrible at their job. I thought what's-his-name was whipping them into shape. Seriously, Flash Sentry, what's going on here?
Part of our unexpected plan worked unexpectedly.
Yeah, good job, Applejack, on that one. Wow.
To be fair, it was never made specifically clear to me what guarding actually means. So
You are awful. You are just awful. Go back to doing what you originally...
Twilight, but not even I can buck through solid rock.
Are you sure about that?
Rock specialist.
Hi, Maud. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure with Maud's help, you're more than capable. Yeah.
Shift, you're on break.
Wow. That is not... Well, I mean...
You've been glaring so hard.
Wow.
What's a feather massage?
We mapped this
Wow.
out and got lost down here. The lever to the
Nice.
secret hallway entrance should be
Okay. Cool.
I can't believe this worked.
Well, you haven't gotten the crown yet.
This plan is the one you expect.
All I have to do
Yeah.
now is fly over and take the crown, and I'll be sibling supreme forever.
Not exactly.
Yeah, no.
Oh, come on!
You're...
Admit, it was unexpected for you to do everything exactly how I thought you would. But you should know by now, there's no way to beat the true sibling supreme.
I am sorry, Twilight, but it looks as though shining armor has finally won
well.
the crown.
That's the thing about looks. They can be deceiving.
What?
How in Equestria did you do it?
Come on, you two don't think you have the only sibling rivalry. I had an inside pony help.
Oh
More stubborn.
So, while
Oh my
Shiny
God.
went on and on about all his
I-
security measures, Luna and I struck a deal.
And this breakdown, this betrayal.
Once Luna was on board, I just had to do my part. And make sure we stuck to Twilight's plan so we'd all get to the throne room at the same time. I knew Shining Armor would let it play out until the last possible second.
Oh my god.
Then, everyone was distracted by its glow. All Luna had to do was float the crown over to me.
I mean, she teleported it, but
I apologize for not listening to your concerns, sister.
Oh,
It
royal-
seems we need to make adjustments
royal
to
problem,
prevent threats inside the castle as well as out. If you agree.
If you think it's worth discussing.
a royal problem reference there. Just with the way that they go. Spike does.
The true sibling supreme.
Yeah. I mean, Spike's always been there for both of them, so.
We've always had.
Aww. Fantastic. Okay. Ooh, and different ending music. I like it. This is... Oh my god. That... That was the hardest I've laughed in a long time. That broke me. I really hope that breaks some other people, because that was fantastic. That was a great moment. Just like, part of it was seeing Luna do the traditional evil mastermind pose while stroking the fucking goose, but like, just also the fact that they worked in the trope of the traditional like heist spy movie where some member of the party actually does betray all the others, has their own secret plan the entire time. that was fantastic. There's almost certainly a lot of stuff that I need to think about before I can ramble on here, so I am going to pause and think, and also just try and recover, because my brain is still focused on that one moment, and wow. Okay, I had to take an actual break for this one because I could not stop thinking about that moment. I actually had to go and watch an episode of Supergirl in order to distract myself. It was a good episode, but that's not why we're here. So, yeah, this episode. It was started out as a pretty decent episode, you know? It was fun, it was cute, stuff with Twilight and all that, like, we'll get to that, but, no, like, it was good for a while. It got a little bit, like, close to cringy in the middle, just between AJ and Zephyr there. But then, at the end, that moment, I lost it. It really did. It bumped the episode up for me. This was fantastic. Alright, so I just want to go through some of the tropes that they used in this episode for reference here. Stuff from heist movies and spy movies, because that's obviously, you know, the reference here. With Twilight 7, I think the closest comparison is Ocean's 11. Even though I've never seen any of those movies, but, like, that's the closest comparison to me, for what it would be. But I've seen a few other heist movies, mostly the ones that veer more into parody territory, like what was the one? Tower Heist with Ben Stiller, kind of a lower tier movie. Obviously the old, well, not the old, but like the version of The Italian Job that had Mark Wahlberg in it. That one's fun. But, you know, the movies tend to share some similar tropes to them. You know, you got your seduction stuff where the female member of the team goes out and puts the hots on for somebody who's involved here, a guard or just a systems engineer or something, that they need to get something out of that person. They either need to get information or they need to get past them. One way or another, in any of these movies, somebody's going to try to seduce somebody. It's pretty much a guarantee. And in this case, it happened to be Rainbow Dash. And good lord, did that make me just want to cry. Like, poor Rainbow. Cry? No, barf. I was with Rainbow all the way on that one. And similar to that, you know, you always have the distraction party, like AJ was. This is the person who raises a false alarm in one area to get the authority members to go away from that area in particular, giving them more of a straight shot to get away with it. It's a pretty typical trope there. And it's why movies like, what was the one with the magicians there? Now You See Me, that one. Those movies. Those movies work pretty well because magicians using sleight of hand are really good at this distraction stuff because it's part of their job. They make you look one way when the actual stuff is going on somewhere else. And that movie kind of parodies, kind of deconstructs, kind of reconstructs pretty much everything it's going for, and it's a lot of fun. And then, of course, you know, you have... pretty typical of a lot of heist movies, they have a reason for why they're trying to steal the thing, and it's always completely overcomplicated and outlandish in a way. Like, if you want to go with one that is slightly more of a parody, you know, going with that Italian Job, Mark Wahlberg one, like, they were trying to steal the gold, not just because they wanted to get rich, even though that was part of it, obviously. No, they were trying to steal the gold because the gold got stolen from them during the original mission to steal the gold, and the leader of their team got shot and killed, and yeah. Like, it's crazy, over the top, and ridiculous. But, there you go. In this case, it happened to be something to do with Twilight and Shining Armor's past there. It was ridiculous. And tying into that, though, most of these movies also have a very overly long planning stage session with a whole bunch of explanations, like here's how all this stuff is going to work, whether or not there's diagrams, imagine spots, whatever it is. Like, there's always just like a huge chunk of the movie that's dedicated to explaining, okay, what are all the obstacles we need to get past? Here's how we're going to get past them. Here's the actual plan, because that first plan's not going to work. And also similar to that, the plan that they always try to go with never works out completely right. They always have to revise the plan on the fly and come up with something new to do that is totally different. And it almost always works, too. That's the stupid part. And of course, you know, the final thing there for any heist movie, they almost always have some sort of betrayal at some point, or some sort of twist reveal that shows off just how smart the protagonists are. It's usually done pretty well, and it's usually pretty funny, too. Well, not funny, but fun. For more spy movie type stuff, you know, a lot of the stuff from a heist movie you do get in a spy movie too, the seduction and distractions type stuff, the plan usually also. But spy movies also tend to have stuff like gadgets, which heist movies usually don't use as much. Usually a heist movie, it relies on a a set of skills that they would have in their normal everyday jobs and lives that they're repurposing for this. Spy movies, they get gadgets and they create gadgets just for that specific occasion, like AJ's little guitar grappling hook there that was absolutely ridiculous. Spy movies also tend to rely a little bit more on like the secret passage type stuff and like behind the scenes, here's where you go when normal people don't go into those places. And of course, you know, the spy suits, the cat suits, or in this case, bunny suits, which really, I think Spike's was more of a cat suit. Like, it looked like it had more cat ears than Fluttershy's bunny ears, which, yeah, that's gonna give the fan artist something to work with. But, yeah, a lot of tropes from these movies that they put to use in this episode, and they put to use pretty well. Like, it makes sense, in a way. I mean, there's some stuff that's absolutely ridiculous, like the geese and the fans, but the thing that it demonstrates, of course, is that Shining Armor, when he has time to prepare, is a pretty competent military leader. His troops, on the other hand, are completely and insufferably bad at their jobs. This is not on the list of things to talk about, but I'm going to talk about for a minute because this kind of pisses me off. There is no reason for those guards to abandon their posts like they did for Pinky's surprise party. No. I have to imagine that Josh Scorcher, you know, Commander Firebrand, the military brony, when he sees that, he's gonna lose his frickin' mind, because that is just wrong and stupid and really does call into question, where is the pillar, what's the pillar's name? Flash Magnus, who he was supposed to be training these guys. Did he only train like one elite section that we didn't get to see, or what the fuck is going on there? I mean, did he get called away to the Everfree Forest thing, and, like, they all just said, fuck it, we're not going to do what that guy said anymore? Like, what the... There's being bad at their job, and then there's just, like, completely ignoring what the job is. They're supposed to be the Royal Guards. The party right there should not have distracted them. If anything, what should have happened is at least one of the Royal Guards should have stayed in their position, while one or more of the others went off and tried to shoo Pinky away and get it all cleaned up. Like, professionalism in the guard, in military, it's like, why? Then again, I mean, like, no, then again, like, in the same vein, is Rainbow Dash just utterly using the Wonderbolts for a purpose that are not supposed to be used for? Like, technically, like, they were helping to commit treason, in a way. Like, I mean, not really, because, like, this was sanctioned, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, if this had been a real thing, If Rainbow Dash actually wanted to break into Canterlot here, and she just asked the Wonderbolts for help, and they did it, like, what would they have done if she actually wanted to break in? Would they have helped her still there? Or would it... Like, if it wasn't sanctioned and Rainbow asked them, what would their response have been? I don't know, but I find it hilarious and also kind of just unsettling that they went ahead and did that. Right, back to the notes here, because that's a tangent. I just want to mention how nice it was to see a flashback of Twilight and Shining Armor, because we have not gotten that in basically, I almost want to say ever. I mean, there was kind of some stuff in the Season 2 finale, but not really. And I mean, just seeing Philly Twilight again in general, because we haven't seen Philly Twilight since, I want to say since Cutie Mark Chronicles back in Season 1. Like, I think they put in a clip of her in the Season 5 finale, but like I don't really count that because that's a flashback, basically. Like, it's not happening in the present, it's not something new that we're seeing that's actually happened. It's kind of like how in the Season 5 finale, they had a whole bunch of, different versions of the same sort of thing, but, like, none of them are actually technically canon because they all got retconned away once Rainbow Dash actually performed her Sonic Rainboom and Twilight and Starlight went back to the present. So, just getting this new flashback, this new information about Twilight and Spike and Shining Armor and what their childhood was like, and it was both adorable and also I feel like a little bit necessary, considering we haven't seen it at all, really. So, yeah, just wanted to bring that up. But, yeah, the rest of this that I really want to talk about, the only other thing that I can really think of to talk about with this episode is just the vast majority of sibling stuff that happened in it. I mean, there were some missed opportunities here. Clearly, this was an episode that was highlighting sibling relationships, and they didn't bother to bring in Big Mac and Apple Bloom for Applejack to interact with in the present. And we don't know if her whole singing career thing was actually true or not. Like, that shit-eating grin that she had could have been saying, like, no, I lied, but I don't want to admit it. Or it could have been saying, like, oh, I wasn't supposed to tell anybody about that. Like, it's up in the air whether or not it's true for me. It was cute seeing baby Apple Bloom, though, but, yeah, no, we don't know if it was true or not. And I have to imagine that they made sure to put baby Apple Bloom into that flashback just to kind of sort of assuage people bringing up the Season 6 episode there. I mean, for that matter, I mean, it doesn't really help even then, but I don't know. Let's ignore the potential incest for a moment. But no, they also didn't bring up Rarity and Sweetie Belle, who are another sibling relationship. Like, that seems like a very obvious one to have going on. I mean, if you're going to bring in Sweetie Belle, you could have also brought in Apple Bloom and Scootaloo to give Rainbow and Applejack something to play off from there as well, for their sibling stuff. Maud did make an appearance for Pinkie Pie, but the two of them didn't really interact at all, so, didn't really? No, they just plain didn't. So that's kind of another missed opportunity right there. But we did get 3 pairs of siblings. Well, groups, I guess, of siblings to talk about. Twilight, Spike, and Shining, I already talked about, like, seeing the flashback stuff was great, but more importantly was seeing the stuff in the present, the grudges that still kind of linger around and whatnot. Because, like, that's an aspect that we've never really seen before. Like, it's mostly been just they have a very good sibling relationship right there. Like, the only hint of any kind of discord between them would have been back in the season 2 finale, when Twilight was a little bit peeved that he didn't tell her he was getting married until the last minute. And even then, as soon as she found out it was Cadence, she was completely alright with Shining marrying her, up until the part where she found out that Cadence was that quote-unquote Cadence was being a bitch, and at that point, Twilight was just like, no, this is Cadence that's the problem, like, it's not Shining Armor, so no real issues between them that were actually, real. And this one gave us a little bit of a sibling rivalry the way that it should be. There was also a hint of that in the Best Gift Ever special there. Just Shining appearing the slightest bit playful and almost resentful of his sister at times. It was good. But for that matter, aside from that, though, just like seeing them get along in spite of this rivalry was amazing. And then you throw Spike in the mix, and it's quite wonderful. We had an episode last season in which Spike, was more like a son to Twilight, but it does, their relationship is, changeable. Sometimes she's like a mother figure to him, and sometimes she's like a sister figure to him. It doesn't really matter all that much which one it is. Like, it can be both. I mean, it shouldn't be both, sisters and brothers, like, the older siblings should not have to raise the younger siblings. The parents should do that. But it doesn't matter in the sense that, like, in this fictional world where the relationship isn't all that well defined, or it's changeable or whatnot, like, or in cases where it does happen in real life, even though it shouldn't happen, there's, like, the level of closeness between the siblings, it's still there, even though the relationship is a little bit changeable, and, like, at times they can... You probably get what I'm trying to say here. It's a bit weird, but... Yeah, damn seat. But the part about where Spike was like, well, I kind of felt left out by the closeness that the two of them had, and I always felt like a bit of a third wheel here, and I never won the actual contest, so I felt like they didn't quite respect me enough. Segueing into that betrayal with him and Luna, like, that was fantastic. Especially, well, I'll talk about that in a minute. For now, let's talk about Fleurs and Zephyr, because that's... Even though they never interacted in the episode, they both appeared in the episode. And Fluttershy, voicing some complaints about Zephyr, like, yeah, he might have been a little bit better by now. He might be trying a little bit harder to, find a place or do something with his life. But, like, he's still Zephyr Breeze, and his antics are probably one of the few things that can actually make Fluttershy a little bit peeved. And, yeah, that's just seeing that relationship kind of to contrast, really, with Twilight and Shining Armor. Good lord. Zephyr is still one of my most hated characters here, in just the sense that I do not like him. But he's a fun character. He gives a lot of laughs, and I can appreciate that, at least. I suppose, like, putting the sibling thing on pause for a moment, it is interesting to note the very specific callback to, not Castle Sweet Castle. What was that one? That was actually a Season 4 callback. I think I mistakenly referred to it as Season 5. But no, it was Castlemania, which was a very fun episode. Had all the main six going to the Castle of Two Sisters, had a lot of antics there. But seeing Fluttershy go through all that stuff in that episode, and, like, now having a callback to that where she gets trapped in this little confined space and all she can think about is, oh Lord, what's happening to Angel? Like, it's a good callback and a great character moment to showcase a very reasonable fear now for Fluttershy, which we haven't really seen too much before, but I'm not opposed to it. Giving her a little bit of not quite claustrophobia, but anxiety about closed spaces. Pretty cool. But yes, the big one for this episode, the one that it kind of hinges on, is Celestia and Luna's sibling rivalry, sibling dynamic that they have going on there. Kind of acting as not quite a callback, but a reference almost, going back to oh my god, can I talk today? Season 7, A Royal Problem. That's the one. And we saw in that episode them making pouty faces at each other and talking trash about each other just a little bit. And it seems like they still have a slight communication problem at times, but thankfully that won't be a problem for the country overall much longer, due to the fact that Twilight's going to be taking over. Which, no, she's not ready still. I mean, the fact that she just straight up abandoned her school and castle to go participate in this event, then roped all of her friends into it, and just never bothered to address Starlight. No, Twilight's not ready to run a country. But, I mean, having only one person in charge, but that person having, friends and advisors that they can trust, that's, in my opinion, a little bit better than having, both Celestia and Luna trying to do their own thing here, as we kind of saw. But no, very obviously Luna was not consulted at any stage of this, really. The part of, bringing in Shining Armor, then having some input in what Shining Armor would do, in how this exercise would go down, I imagine that, Luna's always seemed like the more warrior type of princess, and she's always been portrayed that way by the fandom, especially, but it definitely seemed like she had some things that she wanted to do in terms of defending the castle, and nobody asked her, and everybody basically told her, shush, let Shining Armor do it, and she kind of resented that. So, very obviously, she decided to playfully, but very seriously, go behind her sister's back, team up with Spike, and I find it interesting that for this episode, at least, Spike and Luna, they haven't had a whole lot of interaction. But they do have a very similar dynamic with their siblings in this episode. This feeling of being overshadowed, ignored, underappreciated. Basically all the things that led to Luna becoming Nightmare Moon that are still kind of there, still kind of hanging over her relationship with Celestia, never to be addressed. And they are kind of present in Twilight and Shining Armor's dynamic with Spike. Not as severe, no, but they're enough that the two of them could find common ground, team up, and pull off one hell of a prank on them all. That was just fantastic. It was a great note to end the episode on, a great little twist there, perfectly played into the rest of the episode, and has now put this as not necessarily one of my favorite episodes of all time, but just in terms of how much I enjoyed watching it and how much I'm going to enjoy seeing other people's reactions to it in the future, might be one of the strongest episodes of this season, at least. Suffice to say, next episode, the 200th episode, is going to have to try very, very, very hard to surpass this one. Now, that being said, I was not around for episode 100. I was not doing reactions back then. And even though the episode was good, slice of life, and all the references were fun, and it's hilarious to watch it, and people's reactions to it are always good, but it is, I don't know, what are they going to do for episode 200? Because they've had similar things where it's like, oh, it's Slice of Life 2.0 or whatever. We've labeled things as that before, whether it's the Best Gift Ever special, or in a kind of negative light, the Fame and Misfortune episode. And thinking about it, like, next week, episode 5 of season 9, the 200th episode, what could they do? They can't just do the same shtick as Slice of Life, because, well, there's not really as much that they can, like they can't use the same memes or anything like that, and for that matter, there's not as many, like, new memes coming out, from the Brony community. A lot of the memes come directly from the show, like Twilight's pudding face, which almost came back in this episode, kind of. But no, like, a lot of the trends in the fandom, they're not in the same vein as Slice of Life anymore, and there's not really anything that they could do and reference that I know about that would be in the same, like, they couldn't just do Slice of Life 2.0, quite literally. They can't just do that. They can't be like, oh, hey, let's just throw more of Derpy and Lyra Bon and Dr. Hooves and all that at these people. The only thing that I can think of, and this would be fantastic, would be if they took all of the guest stars from, like, the last 4 seasons or so, all of the characters that we loved that they just haven't been able to bring back for one reason or another, and just they bring them back. Like, let's bring in some let's bring in Gilda and Gabby from the Griffins. Let's bring in let's see, who can we have here? Not Sassy Saddles. How about what was her name? Color Achura. Would bring her back for season 6. You know, we could definitely bring back Patton Oswalt's character. I know he is coming back for an episode at some point this season. It might be next episode. That would be fantastic as well. So yeah, they could do that. There hasn't really been a whole lot of, like, one-off characters that have been, like, actually enjoyable. At least not in season 6. How about season 7? Did they have anything there? Let's see. Not really. I mean, seasons 7 and 8 were really good about just making things continuous, not really introducing too many brand new characters, and instead focusing in on the ones that they already have. That's, well, I mean, well, there's still plenty of new characters that they have brought in, that they have, worked into the episode, or the seasons, like, I mean, they could bring in the Pillars, they could bring in the various country leaders there. If they wanted to go for something really special, they could bring in movie characters. I mean, if they brought in Tempest Shadow, I would flip out. That would just be the best surprise. Well, I say Tempest Shadow. Her real name, of course, is Fizzlepop. If they brought in Fizzlepop, I would geek out so hard. Or Princess Skystar, Queen Novo, them. That would be amazing. And just thinking about it, like, yeah, I mean, they could bring in so many other fun characters for whatever reason they wanted to. I mean, they could just do like a clip show episode. How about that? How about just a clip show episode where we just check in on random characters that we've seen throughout the seasons that we've never gotten a chance to check up on again? Even some characters that are from, like, the movie and stuff. That would be really fun. I think that's about everything. I could talk about how I didn't notice in last episode that apparently there was a huge parallel between the Student 6 and the fandom. I could talk about how last episode was very similar to Castle Sweet Castle, which was an episode that I completely forgot about. But I don't really want to go too in-depth to that, and plenty of other reactors have, and I'm closing in on the hour mark. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up, and I'm gonna say I'll see you all next time. I really hope you enjoyed this, because I know I did. But yeah, that's all for today.